Hello guys, this is Revolution. So in this video we are going to be discussing Frieza's motives in the upcoming Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. We know that at some point in this upcoming movie we will see the most iconic villain in the whole Dragon Ball franchise, Frieza, take on the most iconic Dragon Ball Z movie villain, albeit rebooted, Broly. Frieza vs Broly will happen. However, will it end with a decisive victory of one iconic villain over the other, or will the evil Emperor of the universe and leader of the Frieza Force, Frieza, not make the same mistakes that he made in Resurrection of F when he achieved his new powerful golden state and rushed to gain vengeance on Goku and consequently failing? Well, after certain events and scenes in Tournament of Power at the end of Dragon Ball Super, it does seem like Frieza may have a large grand scale plan, and that seems to have been backed up in a recent interview. The Dragon Ball Super movie Broly director concerning Frieza's intentions, motivations and aspirations going forward. But before we discuss this in detail, just a quick message. My channel avatar, my originally created character, the Daishenken, will be getting a backstory with some of the details are on your screen right now, but I will be making a full video concerning the story behind the Daishenken, and it's epic. Keep an eye out for it and make sure you subscribe to the channel to be notified whenever I release that video or any other Dragon Ball related content. If you love Dragon Ball, you will love this channel. Power scaling theories, news, reviews, breakdowns, theories, you name it. So, Frieza was resurrected twice during the course of Dragon Ball Super, obviously the first being Resurrection of F, and in my humble opinion that was the most disappointing arc in the entire series. However, you could argue that if that arc never happened, Frieza being revived for the Tournament of Power would have made utterly no sense, so it has played an important role in terms of being a foundation for setting up the future for Frieza. What it also seems to have done as well is that it showed Frieza blind with rage, looking for vengeance on Goku and future Trunks, utterly failing, and now having to rethink how he approaches things, because at the end of the Tournament of Power, for his exploits in the Tournament of Power and helping Goku eliminate Jiren, Beerus gave Whis permission to grant Frieza his life back, thus resurrecting him for a second time. Quite frankly, even after being resurrected, despite how fast Frieza grows in power, if he were to take on Goku, Vegeta or Beerus right now, he would most likely lose as it currently stands. Given some of Frieza's initial intentions during the Tournament of Power in terms of acquiring the Super Dragon Balls and wishing for something, it was implied that he was either going to erase Beerus or even rule over the Omni Kings Zeno and future Zeno. Obviously, Frieza recognised in the Tournament of Power that once Goku lost Ultra Instinct, the only way they could eliminate Jiren was for Frieza to sacrifice himself alongside Goku to push Jiren out of the arena, thus allowing Android 17 to pick up the victory. Giving up on his goal to attain the Super Dragon Balls, but knowing he'll gain resurrection and a chance to fulfill his original evil intentions later down the road. That road begun when Whis resurrected him and seems to be continuing on in this upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie. And these sentiments were echoed in an interview with the Dragon Ball Super movie director Tatsuya Nagamine, and in that interview he revealed this about Frieza, and once again thanks to Todd Blackenship aka Herms98 on Twitter for the translations. And this is the part about Frieza. On the usual suspects, Goku is already pretty close to being a god, and Vegeta is desperately trying to catch up. So in terms of Goku being a god, that's likely referring to the fact that he is close to Beerus in power. We know that Goku cannot access Ultra Instinct after the Tournament of Power. I do believe we'll see it again in the movie. However, as far as we are aware right now, he cannot access it. Still, his Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 transformation is pretty damn powerful, and by the sounds of it, even with that alone, he is closing in on Beerus' full power. Obviously it says Vegeta is desperately trying to catch up, potentially meaning that Vegeta cannot also access Blue Evolution. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. However, it also says this about Frieza. This time Frieza shows particular growth. He wants to be on top, but is pondering how he can with Beerus and co around. Is his ambition to defeat the Omni King? So in terms of Frieza showing particular growth, we know from the Resurrection of F Saga how powerful Frieza can get with just a little bit of training. In 4 months, he went from Mecha Frieza levels to Super Saiyan Blue levels of power. It was completely extraordinary. The explanation was that he was a prodigy that had never trained. As the Super movie director says, Frieza is pondering how he can achieve becoming the top dog with the likes of Beerus and go around, obviously referring to Goku, Vegeta. Also, you could throw Android 17 into that equation now. The ultimate Gohan would be no pushover and even stood up to Frieza in the Tournaments of Power in their fight against Dispo. And I'm sure you remember King Cold did tell his son Frieza not to mess with the likes of Majin Buu. So you never know, if Majin Buu trains again and becomes Fit Buu, he would be a threat to Frieza. Frieza has to be more careful and considered this time around, and like I said, he's pondering his options. And of course, it also said it's his ambition to defeat the Omni King. In episode 99 of Dragon Ball Super, Frieza revealed his irritation with how the Omni Kings literally just erased Universe 9, where a few episodes prior Frieza showed his admiration for the bloodlust that he sensed coming from the Universe 9 competitors. Obviously, Universe 9 has also been restored after Android 17's wish at the end of the Tournament of Power. Could the Trio de Dangers be future Frieza Force members? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section. But after Universe 9's erasure in episode 99, Frieza vowed to rule over even the Omni Kings, Zeno and future Zeno. Beings who don't just rule over the universe, they rule over the Dragon Ball multiverse. So Frieza's ambitions go further than just ruling over the universe that he currently resides in, which is Universe 7. Frieza wants to rule with an iron fist, not just over Universe 7 but the entire multiverse. Of course, before he can even consider doing that, he has to gain control of his own universe first, Universe 7, and he has a lot of competition in that universe. As I mentioned earlier, Beerus would oppose him, and he has history with Beerus. It was apparently Beerus who ordered Frieza to destroy Planet Vegeta, which was revealed in episode 3 of Dragon Ball Super. Frieza also said Beerus was one of those his father told him not to fight alongside Majin Buu. He obviously recognised Beerus in the resurrection of F-Saga when Beerus turned up on Earth to watch the fight between him and Goku, and upon being brought back for the Tournament of Power, he said that Beerus won't be getting away with what he wants forever, implying that he had plans for Beerus. Now, it is possible that Frieza could just continue his training and overtake Goku from growth, but as far as Frieza's aware, Goku could potentially still be able to act as Ultra Instinct. Vegeta had to ask Goku about his Ultra Instinct while sparring in order to get an answer on whether he could use it or not. Why would Goku have revealed that information to Frieza? And even if he did oppose the Dragon Team again, he is facing more than just one person. He's at a disadvantage, which is exactly what the Dragon Ball Super movie director said. Once again translated by Herms, in Resurrection F, Frieza was at a huge disadvantage fighting on his own, but Nagamine says everyone should look forward to seeing how Frieza will oppose Goku and Vegeta this time around. So in the trailer for the Broly movie, when Goku and Vegeta go to greet Broly, or however that set of events takes place, we actually see Broly come out of Frieza's spaceship. Obviously, we didn't quite see Frieza clearly in that sequence, so it's still debatable. You could argue that Paragus and Broly just own a similar ship. However, in the interview with the Dragon Ball Super director, he also revealed something else on the new characters. Chou-Yi is a young delinquent girl who acts on her own emotions. She helps out Broly without thinking of the consequences, with terrible results. Lemo has served in Frieza's army for decades. He wants to do something about Broly, but knows his own limits. So Lemo, however you pronounce it, has been part of the Frieza Force for decades. Well, over the last few decades, Frieza has been dead for the majority of that time. At the end of Dragon Ball Super, we saw Frieza announce his grand return. The evil Emperor of the universe has returned. Well, with the powerful Frieza reinstated as the leader of the Frieza Force, maybe Lemo has asked Frieza to deal with the situation. As the director said, Lemo knows his own power, his own abilities, and knows he cannot compete with Broly. Frieza should at least be able to compete with a few versions of Broly. As we saw in the trailer, Broly absolutely dicks on Final Form Frieza in his base. And obviously we know Broly has quite a few different forms, transformations. He has the base form, the yellow-eyed base form, Super Saiyan, and even Legendary Super Saiyan form or Berserk form. We know that we will see Golden Frieza in this movie, so I imagine we'll see Golden Frieza versus Broly at some point in order to gauge where Broly's power's at. But the difference between Broly and Goku and Vegeta is that it appears Broly is under some sort of controlling device that Paragus, his father, owns, just like in the original Broly movie. So if Frieza's smart enough, and it was implied that he was smarter than Frost in the Tournaments of Power, Frost used deceptive measures in order to run his empire. Frieza, therefore, should be able to do similar things. Frieza could look to acquire the power of Broly to take on the Saiyans or Beerus. We know that Broly is going to be even stronger than a god of destruction. Of course, Frieza won't have to convince Broly to join him, he'll have to convince Paragus who it was revealed has some motivations and desires of his own. And with Broly on Frieza's side, and Frieza's pretty damn powerful himself, the odds aren't going to be so stacked against him in order for him to achieve his desires, his goals, and that's obviously getting revenge or doing something to Beerus, and eventually going on to take on the Omni Kings in whatever way he wishes, most likely acquiring the Super Dragon Balls and wishing for the erasure of Zeno. After all, Zeno himself said Super Shenron can grant any wish. Could Broly be used as a distraction whilst he collects the Super Dragon Balls? Obviously, Broly won't remain in his control forever. It seems like Broly's going to break loose and wreak havoc, but he may cause a distraction long enough for Frieza to do what he needs to do. But considering these developments, what actually excites me the most is that this just seems to be the start of Frieza's rebellion against the Saiyans and Beerus and the Omni Kings, forging a path for the true resurrection of F's story we deserved in the first place. Frieza gaining dominion over the whole multiverse would be an extremely cool concept, potentially leading to a hypothetical new series where Goku, Vegeta and the gang have to find a way to stop Frieza. So guys, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments section. Would you like to see Frieza eventually rule over even the Omni Kings Zeno and future Zeno? Will Broly eventually fight alongside Frieza against Goku, Vegeta and Beerus? Will we see the motherfucking strategic genius MVP Android 17 in this upcoming movie? Drop all your thoughts down in the comment section. I look forward to reading them. If you enjoy my videos, please do keep lending me your energy and hitting that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Until next time, ad Astra.